Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking right at you. So I'm needing to make changes in my life. So I sent out an email to a lot of just really close friends, not very many. Some people that I'm recently been in touch with. And I need to make some changes. I mean, I've known that. It's not like this is new information, but it was spoken pretty directly to me. Very directly to me tonight. There were 4 things I was concentrating on, for recovering from the heart attack. And just the stress and strain and everything of, homeless saga deal. But, eating better, sleeping better, exercising, and drinking enough water. Tonight I recited the first 3: sleeping, eating, exercising. I didn't drink any water today, so mental, dehydration. Today was a rough day because I had just gotten back from a trip late last night. Talked very late last night to one sister, and woke up way too early today. I mean, I'm in recuperation mode for about 2 days after a stressful 2 days, which I just had, and I did not need to be. I needed sleep. Anyway, so, and then that stress level, I wasn't drinking enough water. Okay, so anyway, long story short, what comes next? In my life, what comes next? And in my life, YouTube, what comes next? I'm really feeling like at least a couple people out there enjoy me reading. And it's a way to educate people. And that's the reason I did this, because I have recommended a lot of books. This has always been at the top of the list, near the top because it's from a quasi-Christian, quote unquote, viewpoint, at least a moral viewpoint. And it doesn't involve cannibalism. It doesn't involve raping. Well, from the people involved with it, raping and pillaging and everything. Point I'm getting to is I'm thinking of going ahead and just continuing reading as a matter of course. But while this book has had a lot of lessons, and I'd like to actually go back over it and go chapter by chapter, and just some of the points in each chapter, maybe skip a chapter here and there, but basically not to belabor the whole thing, but there have been some things I have talked about, but there's a lot more to talk about. So I'm thinking, for the people that are listening to me, and a lot of the people listening to me have sent donations at one time or another, kind of as a Patreon thing, maybe, which I haven't set up yet. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. And kind of a combination of the idea of doing a streaming video where we could have a round table discussion. But I don't know. Well, I'm kind of thinking about maybe just tell me what you think. Either a Patreon-based subscription basis, those who are interested in it, and from anything I read from here on out, to do it on a basis where if we can't get the streaming thing up and running, then, you could text questions to my phone or something. And it would kind of be like streaming. That's pretty much all they do anyway. Hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, so-and-so checked in the chat room. They do chat rooms and stuff. And it's personal, and yet it's somewhat impersonal. So what's the difference between that, me staring at a computer, which it is kind of weird when people are doing a live stream, they're just sitting there. Oh yeah, hi, how are you doing? oh yeah, hey, Jojo checked in, and Susie's here, and blah blah blah. So I could have my phone there, and people could text me questions. I don't know, thoughts, comments. So, or we could do them to email or something. Anyway, as far as the next book, I'm pretty well figuring on. There's a book that's not very long anyway, and at least as an interim book, because it's somewhat similar to this book, and it's a lot of reinforcement for this book. So it's about 1/3 the length. That's We Interrupt This Program. It's online. I don't know that anybody has read it. I'll check and see if they have. I'll just say, hey, go check out this YouTube channel and listen to this book. Or I might just go ahead and read it because it's it's got a lot of, like I said, corroborating points that I would like to see made again, backing this book up. Okay, so thoughts on other books. I mean, I've had a couple people recommend other books. I want to do something that I'm impressed with, that is a valuable book, that's, top notch, top level. And there's not a whole lot of those. I'm not going to read Lucifer's Hammer because it's just like, it's awesome. It's until I read Lights Out, it was like, I always said it was the quintessential post-Toastie book. Read it on your own. Because it involves a lot of that stuff. The MCVs there are cannibalistic religious freaks, nutty end of the world stuff. The end is near, literally. Guy walking around with a sign, the end is near, and prisoners escaping, and raping and pillaging, and runaway military outfits, and the whole 9 yards. Gruesome stuff. Not any more gruesome than this one. We're through the gruesome part, but we're not through the worst of the threats part, obviously. Anyway, just some thoughts. I'd also like to do, I've wanted to start on this earlier, but again, my time in the morning, and, getting up and around and doing stuff and dealing with my situation here. I'd like to do teaching. What I thought about doing was just sitting down, eating, and then starting into this book and reading through it. Because I had Jersey read this, and she did. I don't see that's been broken in, and I didn't tell her to write in it, but she said she read it, and that's, I guess. But anyway, so something like this, and this is a really good book, biblical, theologically based. Where are we going? Where am I going right now? That's what I'm talking about. Where are we going as a whole, as a people, as a body of people, as remnant believers? If I could read the Institutes of Biblical Law and put everybody to sleep every night real easily. Yeah, one guy said, you look like Santa and you have a sonorous voice. So anyway, but this is a good book, okay? And there's a lot of stuff out there to read. There's so many. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hundreds, maybe thousands and thousands of post-Toastie books, novels, and then teaching books. So there's a lot of material out there to digest. I think as far as storytelling, I would just like to stay with, keep doing that. I mean, it's fun. Obviously, what is Countryman going to do if I stop reading? And some of you others out there, the little lady down there in Arkansas, or I'm reading some of you to sleep basically every night. So if I could move that up in time-wise during the day for me, that would be a big help. I don't know if I can do that or not. I could start at 9 o'clock at night, but like tonight I was on the phone until, 12:30 or something like that. I don't know. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, that's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I'm here for. And there's a lot of people out there. There's one of my subscribers out there. Hey, I'm getting concerned. I haven't heard from him for a while. Mr. Cattywampus, check in, drop me a note. And by the way, I mean, if there's any of you who need to go mobile and need to relocate, and I mean, if you've sent me, any kind of donation or something, which a lot of you have, some of you have, if you need us to come by here, just, hey, send me an email, drop me a text. We've communicated both ways. We've talked on the phone. Call me. Come by and stay, Got room, got tents and stuff, at least temporarily, a day or two until you find something else. buy a camper, park it here. That's what we're here for, theoretically. It's what I'm here for. So, anyway, so that's about it. Just kind of ideas on the next thing, and it's not an immediate need because I probably will do We Interrupt This Program. You can again download it online, simple PDF. Can't tell you the guy's name off the top of my head. A.A. Milne, A-A-M-I-L-N-E, maybe, because William Forstner is 1 second after, and then 1 year after, and then there's 10 years after, something like that. I'm going to read those. Amazingly, I haven't read any of those. I mean, that just is bizarre for me. It may be because you can't just download them and read them. The thing about buying things is, well, I've got a certain amount of money that I put, I don't have much money, but what I do, I'm putting into a lot of things prepare ideas for other people, dust masks, and be able to have that capability, because it's a really cheap way to help people stay alive, stay healthy in the event of. And there's a lot of things that I got to get done. Somehow or another, we got to figure out a way to mow this place. There's still no propane in the tank, and we got an electric bill due they didn't send us a bill, and then they'd sent 2 bills or 3 bills, I don't know. Power's going to be shut off, blah, 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 pain in the neck. So on her end, her sister took care of the one, and like within 8 days here or something, I got to take care of the other one. So that's a pain in the neck, or derriere, whatever. Yeah, propane mower, no, electricity top mower, and I got a weed whacker. I mean, I can weed whack the whole thing. That's good exercise, and I don't mind it. I like it. If it comes down to it, before we find a mower, I can do that. So, not a problem. Get some ugly stuff. Some of it's just tall. I mean, it's like pushing 2 feet tall, right by the propane tank. Go figure that one. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it might tell you that it's leaking a little bit. Propane is fuel. Okay. So that's about it. I think I'll just wrap it up because I'm just kind of rambling. But just thoughts. Where am I at? Projects. What am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Somebody asked me that, so that's the answer. On my mind is lawn mowing and electric bill, and someday propane would be nice, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. Right now it's not a concern. I'm using like little propane 1 pound bottles still inside, which I've shown you that before, the camp stoves, and that's working fine. I don't care about comfort, I don't care about convenience, and I don't care about anything else, much of anything else. So right now we're just dealing with life as it comes. So day by day, day by day, oh dear Lord, 3 things I pray: follow you more nearly, trust you more dearly, to love you more dearly, day by day. That's an old song out of the distant past. Somebody famous did that. Wasn't Debbie Boone. Anita Bryant. Remember her? Yeah, Miss America. Wow. All right, that was out of the distant past. I was trying to tell this one gal the other day about Barry McGuire. He was the guy that did Eve of Destruction. You remember that song? No, I said, well, it was famous about 1969. I was born in 65, and I'm like, that would explain why you don't remember it. Yeah. Oh, girl. So about 75, Paul Clark, nobody would remember him, and Phil Keaggy, who some people might remember. He was the guy that supposedly, you can read this in Rolling Stones, online, urban legend. One day somebody said to a certain guy, how does it feel to be the greatest guitar player in the world? And the guy says, I don't know, you'd have to ask Phil Keaggy. That was Purple. God, that's pretty bad. I can't remember his name. The black guy. guitarist. Jimi Hendrix. Duh. Jimmy took an overdose. Janis followed so close. The whole music scene and all the bands are pretty comatose this time. Last year, people didn't want to hear. They looked at Jesus from afar. This year, he's a superstar. That was Larry Norman. I'll never forget him. Oh, God, California boy. Yeah. I saw him in concert at Calvary Chapel. He walked out on that stage, and I was front row seat, man. I was just waiting to hear him. I knew he was famous. And he had hair down, straight blonde hair down to his butt. And I was a straight little, naive, stupid, ignorant Catholic boy, My jaw dropped to the floor. Anyway, Phil Keaggy gets saved, and I hear him in concert. And I walked out on him because of that. It was an acoustic concert. I walked out because it was too loud for my virgin ears. And I wondered, I've said this before, but it was just cute. I wondered, in my mind, is he going to be a true believer, or is he just going to be a flash in the pan? So many, many decades later, I hear him in Kansas City with Michael Card singing True Believer. Yep. Pretty awesome. Anyway, just some thoughts and meanderings and stuff. So, where do we go from here, my dear friends? Where do we go from here? Other than we interrupt this program and a few other things. Got any ideas? Let me know. All right. I'm happy to keep reading, and I will keep reading, but I'd like to stay on track of something like this and add to that mix. Something that would, something with more discussion. Definitely theological work, and be able to discuss more kingdom topics, because that's what I feel like. Feed my sheep, feed my people, and that's not just physical, but spiritual. We need to have our minds rearranged. We need to have our thoughts elevated. We need to have our thinking resuscitated, resurrected, transformed to a higher level, and that's where we need to be. So give me some thoughts and ideas on that. Any favorites or anything that you think is really important, let me know. This is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant.